Let's start with the obvious one. Who's going to win the league this year? Jamie.
Man City.
And Gary?
Arsenal. I don't know. I feel they'll do it. I feel they'll do it at a certain point. And look, you can never right. He could 100% be right because of what Pep Guardiola does. He wins all the time. But I feel that Arsenal are getting so close and they're so consistent.
You've gone for Chelsea.
So you've
You've got a great squad.
Chelsea.
You've absolutely tore the back out of them in the first half.
No, I did not.
So
I actually said I thought they could have a good season. I'm saying there's some bizarre things that
there's
happen
actually
there.
quite a lot to deal with in this.
They look quite vulnerable.
How can you justify Liverpool not being in the top four? So Chelsea, we're calling Chelsea a basket case at the start of the show, and you put them in the top four ahead of Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool, my view would be that the impact of Klopp will take its toll, just going off evidence of history. That's it.
The difference for me with Ipswich is I really like Kieran McKenna. I do. I mean, his reputation is huge, and I just think maybe he's the one who can keep a team up that plays really nice football.
Okay, interesting. Robbie Muster.
Yeah, I don't mind that, but I think they're all going to get back running. What's funny
The
about
three
that?
uppers going
no romantic,
back down.
no romantic,
So
Robbie.
Leicester, Ipswich Town, and Southampton
Yeah, I
all
just
going
think
back
the
down
ones
for
that
you.
might be sucked
Okay.
in are stable enough. So I think.
Well, that's what happened
more
last year.
romantic.
I think they're stable
That
enough.
is what happened last year. So okay.
More Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa go for
Okay.
Champions League.
So
and
you're going
Premier League.
Newcastle, you're going Villa,
They're
you're
all
going
over the
Chelsea.
place.
Interesting. Let's do champions. Robbie Muster, you get to go, although you just said it, so we can.
Arsenal, they're better this year. New additions, learned from last year. It's their year. They're going to win it.
One vote for Arsenal. Robbie Earl.
Pep, 5.
Wow.
The code. He's got the code.
One vote for Manchester City. Tim Howard.
Yeah, I think it's Arsenal's year. I actually think they're going to go on a run over the next few years and win a few. This is a start.
Wow, okay, so there's 2 votes for Arsenal, 1 for Manchester City. Very quickly before we go, if there's another team that were to make it a 3-horse race, even for a little bit, who is it?
It's such a hard question. I don't know. Maybe Manchester United. We're here. There we go.
Wow.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay, I'm going to say Arsenal win.
Oh, I'm going to go. If they get a striker, Arsenal to win it.
No ifs, Sal.
Oh, as we are then, second.
All right.
If first.
I'm going to go Arsenal second.
Okay.
Woo! You backtracked, haven't you? What's going on?
I haven't backtracked.
Well, you picked them to win the league last year, if my calculations
and
are
they
correct.
didn't, and they let me down. I think they'll finish quite as high as last season, I suspect, because 1 or 2 players will go. So I'm going to get them struggling a little bit, but avoiding relegation.
Ditto. I think the same. I think last season, where they finished in and around mid-table, wasn't it? I don't see them. I don't see them doing that again. I think there'll be 3 or 4 spots below that. So I'm going to be the same as you guys.
Don't forget, this is 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks before the transfer windows, because we're going to look like right prats here.
Not for the first time. It's going to be a tough ask, isn't it, with to go in there after Klopp. I've got them Champions League place. Don't see them having enough to win the title.
Yeah, I've got them in 3rd. I think they'll be good though. I think the football I've watched, or the highlights I've watched Liverpool in pre-season, they look sharp. Jota's been playing, he's been in good form. Diaz has scored a few goals, been looking good as well. I'm going to go, Champions League position 3rd. I'm going to say the same as last season.
I'm going to go 1 down, 4th. I think it would be impossible for them after Jurgen Klopp. I really do. I think they'll probably just get a Champions League spot. I just don't know how, when someone's so dominant a club so long, that whoever comes in, it's going to be impossible for. I hope I'm wrong. He seems like a great guy, and as you said, they've gone well in pre-season. But yeah, 4th for me.
I'd go maybe Arsenal to win it, and
That's your
there's got to be a
prediction, in
hunger.
fact, there, yeah, top four.
There's got to be a hunger, and there's my top four there. I'm going to go with that. Man United improving on the 8th position of last season. To top four, but I've got a sneaky feeling about Arsenal.
Owen, you got a different winner?
Look, I'm super impressed with Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. All the Arsenal players, they've got a brilliant squad of players. Eddie's done an amazing job with them. I just think depth is going to be an issue for them. I think they were quite fortunate with injuries last season. Timber coming back, I think it's going to be great for them. I just think Manchester City have so many more options and more depth. And as long as you got Pep in there with Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne and Edison and Rodri, probably the best, for me right now, the best player in the world. I think City are the favourites until somebody proves otherwise. But I really like Arsenal. Liverpool's going to be really interesting. What they do, Chelsea, I wouldn't have them in. I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea. I think United are going to be a lot better as well. I think their recruitment's been good.
Do you know one reason at the moment I'm saying Arsenal above City as well? Alvarez has gone.
Yeah.
Huge input.
Yeah, a lot of
huge
goals
input
as well.
in terms of goals, important goals, 20+ goals off the bench a lot of the time. So when you have someone like that who's so impactful, who's going to be that guy this season?
But Reed, they'll spend that money. Surely they'll go get one or two now. You know, I think they'll need somebody to replace him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think City's business is done yet.
Craig Burley, who have you got winning it?
Well, this was a bit of a... That photo never gets old, does it?
No, it's fantastic.
I've gone for Arsenal.
Yep.
Because I think they progress every year. And I think for City, it's just... I think it's going to be... It has to be difficult for them to continue with this desire and drive. And I think Julian Alvarez for them is going to be a bigger loss than people would imagine. Also, on top of that, can Kevin De Bruyne keep doing it? He had 6 months out injured last year. He looked heavy-legged when he came back, apart from the odd game. Mother Nature is catching up with him, so I think it's going to be difficult for City. And then I think Liverpool and Tottenham, maybe Man United, you could switch. Maybe they'll crawl into the top four and then Newcastle. I think Erling Haaland will be top scorer again. I don't necessarily think he'll be brilliant. I thought he was poor last week in the Community Shield. His general play. And I think Martin Odegaard really can keep progressing and drive this Arsenal side forward to a title. I really feel that this is now the time for Arsenal.
Robbo, looking at your predictions, do you agree?
I think I've said almost exactly the same, and I think Craig mentioned it there that he might swap Spurs around with Manchester United. So that's what I've gone with. Arsenal, I think, will win the title. I think it's about time that all the promise comes to fruition. I think they've got a manager now that the players like, and he seems to be getting the best out of this team. Man City, for exactly the same reasons. I think Erling Haaland was disappointing last year. I'm still not convinced about his general play. Unless Rodri plays at his very best, Manchester United might not dominate. Manchester City might not dominate midfield as they normally do. And I've gone with Manchester United into fourth place just because of the players they've got, and some of the other clubs like Aston Villa playing in the Champions League might not be able to replicate what they did last year. And I'm still not sure about Newcastle either, and certainly not Chelsea. So Manchester United fourth. And for the best player, I've gone with another Arsenal player, somebody who's going to be influential, and that's Declan Rice, because he's got to do both jobs. He's got to be creative, and he's also got to be the main defensive midfield player that stops the opposition getting at their back line. So they're the players I've gone with. And Liverpool, because Arne Slot seems to have done a good job since he's been there. The players like him, the crowd like him. He seems to be a good character. They're playing some good football as well. They're looking to pass the ball forward that little bit more, press high up the field. So Liverpool in third spot, I think.